Do you remember the moment that you went from turning up on a Thursday thinking, hope things go my way and I get a decent result, to turning up on a Thursday thinking, if I do my job, I know I win this race?
Probably after Melbourne last year.
Right.
Again, in the history books, I finished ninth, and it wasn't wasn't a race filled with great memories. But I left that weekend knowing that I'd taken a big step forward from the year before. I knew I still had some steps and improvements to make, but I knew that I was really close to just being able to kind of maximize my potential. I think through my first 2 years of F1, there was always a bit of a lingering feeling of a little bit of hope, a little bit of, I need to do something a little bit extra, or I need to do something a bit special. But after Melbourne in 2025, I knew within myself, and especially after China when I won, I knew that as long as I got close to my potential, that I could win races. Obviously, Max was back in the picture later in the year, but 2025 was the first time in F1, at least, where I went, if I get close to my potential here, I'm going to win.
And when you go back to those first few races of last season, you're winning them, you're leading the championship, like it looks easy from the outside. I'm really interested from behind the visor, how different does the job and the sport feel when that's the way that it's looking and the way that it's falling?
It's a double-edged sword,
right?
I would say. There's obviously the confidence you get from that and just the enjoyment. At the end of the day, we're all here on the grid because we're trying to win races and eventually championships. So there's a lot of enjoyment that comes with that. I guess there's also the expectation, or the building expectation of trying to keep that going. At certain points last year, finishing second was almost kind of the worst place I could finish because I got beaten by my teammate probably, and our car was a lot better than everyone else's on certain weekends, and I didn't do a good enough job basically. So when finishing second feels like a bad weekend, it's tough it's tough and important to kind of look at it in a more holistic way and go, okay, yeah, it wasn't a good weekend or whatever in the grand scheme of things, but I still just finished second in an F1 race, thinking I probably didn't do as good of a job as I should have or I could have.